Hello learners, in this session we will discuss about how to deal with the multiple choice questions of the IELTS listening. It's very important to understand few tricks before going through these questions. So I'm going to tell you what are things you should keep in your mind to increase your score. As you know, in the multiple choice questions you get options of 3 or 4 options when you have to choose one out of these. So it's very important to go through some tricks. So I have highlighted few tricks here. The first one is read the instruction very carefully, guys. Before going through the question, you need to read the instructions very carefully. Sometimes there can be 5 options and you have to choose 2 options. So read instructions very carefully before writing whether you have to go through one option or 2 options. Number 2, think of any synonyms you might hear. Generally in the multiple choice questions, they use the synonyms to trick you. So it's very important. They use, for example, they are using a word happiness in the recording part. The same word in the a question, it will be synonym of that, like rejoice it can be, or it can be other word. So make sure to listen the synonym very carefully, then try to figure out. Second, don't write first answer you hear. You will probably talk about they will probably talk about more than one option by using but or however. I mean to say, basically they use all the 3 options. For example, there's a recording about, they are talking, teacher and student, they are talking with each other about a subject, why they have chosen that. So, for example, Jack is saying to teacher is asking to the Jack, why you decided to go for the history subject? So he will say, as previously I was having keen interest in the other subject, but. So these words can change the meaning of the statement. So you need to listen the recording very carefully because they will say all the options, but they will use but, however, in between to trick you. So answer that when they are saying but, the answer is not the first option, it has to be the other option. So listen very carefully the complete recording and at the same time memorize all the 3 options which you're getting in the multiple choice question. Number 3, the 3 choices often look similar in the meaning and it may be difficult for you to tell the difference. Look at the keywords and highlight them. So one way to figure out the difference between these 3 options is that you use the highlighter to highlight the important word from those options. So it will be easy for you to differentiate in the meaning and also figure out while going through the listening part. Now, if you think answer is correct, put a tick, but keep listening to make sure. Generally, what happens that once you hear the first answer, you tick it and you do not come back to that. But you can tick that answer, but keep on listening to make sure is that the right answer which I'm putting up out there. So these are the tricks, guys, which are important. Moreover, practice makes man perfect. So you need to make yourself familiarized with different categories of the multiple choice question to have a familiarity with those speakers. Now let's talk about some synonyms which they use while speaking with each other. These synonyms can change the meaning. So make sure, guys, in the recording, a word which they are speaking in the recording part, the similar word in the question can be different. How that is, I have mentioned here. The first one, keyword in the question, similar words in the recording. Keyword is the imagined. They may use, like for example, in the question it can be imagined, but in the recording, the word can be visualized. So make sure you have to pay attention on the recording, what they are talking about. Changing social attitude, if that is in the question, it can be in the recording, how relationships were shifting. So it can have the same meaning, so listen very carefully. And equipment failure, the same word in the recording can be one spotlight stuck. Then roll their bodies too much, it can be almost rolling on their backs, it can be in the recording part. They don't exhale sufficiently, they have incomplete exhalation. So these are just I have mentioned to make you familiar with the synonyms so that you can have a better understanding of the recording part. Now let's discuss some spelling mistakes which probably many of our students they commit while writing the answer. Make sure, guys, in the listening part, if you're committing a mistake in the spelling part, you are trying to lose straight away your scoring. So I have mentioned few words. These are actually confusing words which you may get confused while writing the spelling. First one is garage, G-A-R-A-G. Many of our students they write like this, G-A-R-A-G. That's the wrong spelling. The correct one is G-A-R-A-G-E. The second one is classical, C-L-A-S-I-C-A-L. This what people they write down, but this is wrong. It should be written in this way, C-L-A-S-S-I-C-A-L. That's the correct spelling. Third one is plant. It should be PLA and an ED. That's the correct way of writing. City Council, I have seen in many of the students writing part, they write COUNSEL, but the correct one should be City COUNCIL, Council. Then the combination, it should be CONBINATION. Attitude should not be ATI, it should be ATTITUDE. Control, it should be CONTROL. And noticable, some people they write noticeable to noticable, NOTICABLE, that's wrong. It should be NOTICEABLE. Then tomorrow it should be TOMOROW. Convenient time it should be CONVENIENT. I hope that it will be very clear now with you. Practice makes man perfect. Try to check your spelling every time when you go through it, and definitely you'll score good. Now let's have a look on the multiple choice questions and their answers so that you can get better idea how they have spoken in there and try to figure out the answers in this. Here you go.
You will hear different recordings and you have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and transfer your answers. Section 1. First you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 10.
Hello, Maria and Harry. How are you doing?
Hello, David. I am fine.
Me too, David. What about you?
I am absolutely fine. It seems you are planning for something. Is it for Freshers' Party?
We have done Freshers' Party preparation. Now we are doing preparation of our friend Jeannie's birthday party. Do you know Jeannie, David? Last week we have attempted her engagement ceremony.
Oh, yes. I know her. Shortest girl in our class.
Right, David.
So Harry, what about hotel? I love Open Garden. They are providing excellent food. I want to book there.
Well, I like that hotel too, but we have limited budget, and Open Garden hotel charges are very high, and they do not have good offers now. I have visited Royal and Prince Hotel last month. They both are really very nice, but again very costly. So we have only one option left.
What's price per person there, Harry?
Well, actually it's $6. But as we have more than 40 people, so $1.50 discount on each. They have good schemes. If less than 20 people, discount of $1 per person.
That's really amazing, Harry. And what about invitation card? Have you given it for printing?
Joey's supposed to do it, but due to some work he is out of town this week. So Eric will do it.
Eric. He is genius. He will do it before time. I know him very well. He is my childhood friend.
Sounds great. And guys, I have calculated approximately cost of party. It is around $600. How will we cover expense?
I have a great idea. We will charge $2 per person in the party.
Well, that's nice, but still we will need a lot of money to pay bills. So we need to find sponsors as well.
Okay, Marina. And what we should keep there to entertain all.
Well, what about music, dinner, soft drink, dance and indoor games?
Well, nice, David, but we all are adults. Nobody will prefer soft drink. We should keep beer there. And I will bring my projector to watch movies.
Movies and dance together? We should keep one of these two. Movies will be the best idea.
Okay, Harry. And as you are knowing mostly all, please try to welcome guests.
Sure. Joey will join me too, as we have already decided this thing.
Even I will join you guys, as I do not have any work. I will count total number of guests.
Okay. Marina. So please try to reach there by 5:30 p.m. We will open gate at 6 o'clock and party will start at 7 o'clock. We have 2.5 hours for celebration then.
Okay. And have you invited Professors Harry?
Not yet. But we have decided to invite 2 professors. I was thinking to give them cards in personal, but they are having tight schedule. I could have sent courier, but we have only 2 days of time. So I will give them after study hours.
Okay. And David, what about cake? I want to order Black Forest with a lot of chocolate in it.
Well, it is very common cake nowadays. Last week on my mom's birthday, I have ordered mixed fruits with some chocolate. It wasn't that good. I want to order something innovative this time. Like something memorable. I have seen one cake in the cafe last week. It was really very nice. You won't believe it had images on it. But it might not taste well. I love chocolate. What about cake with a lot chocolate in it? Just check this one. 100% chocolate.
Yes. It is really nice. I have tasted it yesterday. I forgot its name. But something sounds like currant.
Okay. Guys. I am leaving, I have some work. Bye.